Hey everyone, welcome back to another Persona 5X video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the next character we're going to be getting in Global, and that character is going to be our first 5-star Navi named Phoebe. We already have her synergy named Yumi. She is the bartender we've already been meeting, and with it, we now get a giant boost in power because she is a giant upgrade over using someone like Okion or Puppet. Where's my Puppet? Right there, Puppet. This is my TW account, of course, as always whenever I do these showcases type things. And with that, let's get right into her abilities. So what does Phoebe actually do? So she is a buffer. She buffs her allies. Specifically, she gives a lot of attack boosts as well as a lot of damage boosts. And she works better in teams where there are a lot of the same elements. So she's going to be doing very well, for example, if you like the fire team, because the fire team has 3 fire units, being On, Key, and Luful. You don't need to, but she does a lot better considering when we look at her A0. When an ally deals damage with a persona skill, resonance, or highlight, Yumi gains 1 mixer of the corresponding attribute, and at 3 stacks they become a cocktail, where a cocktail includes Serenade, Standard, Basic, and we spend her cocktails when using skills to boost their effects. It stacks up to 3 times. Each ally can only give Yumi 1 mixer before the start of next turn. If 3 mixers have the same attribute, the cocktail becomes tailor-made. If 2 are the same, it becomes standard, and if all 3 are different, it becomes basic. And when using skills, we'll spend cocktails to activate different effects for party and restore 6 SP to the target. And mix it does pretty well when you also include her taking orders. At the start of battle, randomly gain 3 mixers based on allies' elements. So as you guys can see, we can be stacking up a lot of different mixers, and we always want to be trying to make our tailor-made ones. We always want to make tailor-made ones because that is what gives the biggest boost, as we will see in a little bit. For A1 is when mixing cocktail, there's a 100% fixed chance to refund 1 random mixer. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. A1. A2 is just a level up. A3 is increases all allies damage dealt by 16% for 1 turn when mixing cocktail. So just every time she goes, she will just give a straight 16% damage bonus at TW A3, but RR A2. A4 is a skill level up. This is after an ally uses highlight / Thurgy, increase that ally's attack by 10% for 1 turn and gain 1 tailor-made. A5, which we'll get eventually probably, and then A6, increase the cap of cocktail to 4, and at the start of battle, gain 1 tailor-made. Gain 1 additional tailor-made after mixing 3 cups of cocktail. So her A6 is absolutely busted, but of course her A5 is not bad. But since she is a standard unit, A0 is more than fine, and like free to play, if you're getting her A0, definitely more than fine. And then her skill 1 is increase all allies attack based on 8% attack up to 4,000 attack for 3 turns. And when using the skill, spend 1 cocktail if you have any cocktail. Spending tailor-made, standard, basic, increase the effect by 120%, 100%, 50%. So as you guys can see, depending on what level cocktail, depending on if it's tailor-made, standard, or basic, if it's a tailor-made, it increases by 120%. So instead of 4k, it's actually 4,800 attack at level. Of course, this is skill level 8. And if you were to use a standard, it would be 100%. But if you're using a basic cocktail, it's actually only giving 2k. That's why having allies who are overlapping, such as the fire team, the electric team, so like UE, closer, that kind of thing, is important to have. For skill 2, which is charming stare, increases 1 ally's damage dealt by for every 250 attack. He gives 1% more damage up to 4k attack. So that right there will give an additional 16%. And increases max HP by 12% for 2 turns, and the target restores 2% damages HP when dealing damage. And of course, you spend a basic, or you can spend 1 basic or standard to gain a tailor-made. So if you don't have a optimal one, you use skill 2 to make a tailor-made one. And then lastly, we have her skill 3. Cannot be used, blah blah blah. Spend all cocktails and mixes based on the main target's element. Each spent tailor-made or standard basic triggers the following effect at the same rate as our skill 1. Following blah, 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 respective increases all allies elemental damage by an additional 16% for 2 turns, and the main target gains 1.2x more damage bonus. So this thing straight up just give a 16% damage bonus, or if it's the main target, a what, 18.4%, I believe is the math. Wait, no, 19.4. 19.4%. There we go. That's the right math. So as we can see, she is a really, really good buffer. That's her whole thing, is buffing. She is Okeon, but on steroids. And her general, she is a fairly easy unit to do, because her general rotation for what you're looking to do is you skill 2 into skill 1 into skill 3, if I remember correctly. Very, very easy to use, because the whole thing is what you're trying to do is you're trying to increase, so you skill 2 to take a basic or standard and make it into a tailor-made, and then you can spend that into either skill 1 or skill 3, depending on which one you want. So skill 1 will give you more attack, while skill 3 will give you more damage bonus, depending on which one you want. But basically, you want to be using the tailor-mades that's made with the skill 2. Hopefully that makes sense. And for right now, on when we have global, I don't know if we're going to have her optimal set out or not, because her optimal set is, where is my Phoebe? I have too many characters. There we go. Her optimal set is a set we don't have out yet, but it looks like this. It is called the labor set, and what it does, it increases HP by 12%, and when equipped by Elucidator, which is the navigators, increases all allies HP, attack, and defense by 8%. And when you throw it on with the integrity set, right here, labor, right? Labor. I was having an aneurysm there for a second. When equipped by Elucidator Thieves, increase all allies each HP by additional 2%. So this is just straight up 10% attack, HP, and defense bonus. Or else you can just do the power set with the growth. So growth and strength. So increase attack by 12%, and at the start of battle, increase attack by 10% after every 6 turns up to 3 stacks. It increases the cap of the attack buff up to 5 stacks. Because how you build her is you straight up just build her with a bunch of attack in mind. That's all you care about. My card's not optimal because I just slapped on random ones, but you're looking for attack, you're looking for attack, and you're looking for attack. That's all you care about. Attack, attack, attack. And then you worry about your crit damage, crit rate, your damage bonus, and your pen afterwards. Because if you guys don't know, I believe it's what, 10% of her stats. Actually, I can check. Where is it? Right here. Not there. Here. So enhanced status. Increase party stats by 20%. I was about to say 10%. No, it's 20%. I'm an idiot. By 20%. That means if you have a bunch of attack, if all of your attack, your damage bonus, your speed, everything gets donated to your teams for 20% per each ally. So having those skills up is very important. It's not skills, but stats up. That's where then you worry about your attack, but your attack, your crit damage, your crit rate. But for the most part, you're worried about the attack, just to increase her, as we can see here. So her skill 3 scales off attack, and her skill 1 scales off attack. Her skill 2 does not even scales off attack. Look at that. Every one of her abilities scales off of her attack. So you need massive amount of attack, and there's honestly not enough attack for it to matter. And the next thing we'll be talking about is her weapon. In my opinion, her 4-star weapon is good enough. So what it does is increase attack by 12%, and when used as skill, increases main target's damage by 4.8%. This is at base. Back. Increases damage by additional 3.6% if it spends a cocktail. So right there, it gives you basically a 8.4% damage bonus. While of course her 5-star is way better. But since she comes out right before Cord, I would say that it is more of a skip. But what her 5-star weapon does... Move. Should be around here somewhere. Where is it? Where's the cane? Oh, right here. So increase attack by 30%, and for each cocktail spent, randomly grant one of the following effects: either a 6% attack bonus, a damage bonus of 5%, or a crit rate bonus of 4%. And the effect does not, these effects do not stack if the cocktail spent was a tarot made, increases by, so the same thing, 120%, 100%, and 50%, depending if it's a tarot made, a standard, or a basic. And for every 2 cocktails mixed, 55% chance to reduce Yumi's cooldown time by 1 turn, which is actually kind of nice. Don't get me wrong, her 5-star weapon is really nice, but I don't think it is worth it overall. And then, what team comps does Phoebe really fit into? If you want me to be completely honest, she can fit into any team comp, especially any team comp that you use 2 or more of the same attribute. So like I was saying about the fire team, she's going to do amazing for the fire team because her skill 3 will just boost everyone's in this team's fire damage. Very nice. When we're looking at the blessed team, we can also either use Kasumi or, of course, Summer Closer. I don't have Summer Closer, unfortunately. She does very well, but basically any team possible, because she can create her own terror made anyway. She can do well in a wind team, a ice. The only team she doesn't really do well in is, I would say, would be the Yusuke team, because Yusuke scales off of defense and she gives a lot of attack bonus from her skill 1. So her skill 1 would be completely useless. And I think Puppet would just do better either way. But quite frankly, you'd slap her onto every single team that wants attack. So every team besides Yusuke. So she'll do well in the Makoto team. She'll do well in the Joker team. She'll do well in the Future Closer team. She'll do well in the Yui team. Every team possible right now, she'll do well in. And then for the last little bit of the video, I'm going to be talking about, is she worth pulling? Yes or no? If you care about Guild Boss and SOS, I will say that yes, she is worth pulling. If only you care about SOS and Guild Boss, because everyone and their mother is going to be using her in every single team. In one of her teams, in one team, she's going to be in every single one, either Guild Boss, SOS, and she's going to be running every single team besides Yusuke team, where you're going to be using Puppet instead. Other than that, you're going to be using Okion, and then in 2 weeks after her, you'll be using Wind and her in every single team. But as a free-to-play, I would say no, she's not worth pulling. Or if you do decide to pull her, go A0, no weapon. Like, yes, her weapon is nice, but you can just pick up her 4 or 5-star weapon when it comes to standard banner. I know it's going to take maybe up towards 6 months, as far as we know right now. But you can just pick it up right here. All you need is literally 10 of these. All you need is 10 Salamander coins, and you're good. You can pick it up. Where is it? Right here. Like, just pick it up here in 6 months from now. Or if it comes sooner, then put it on your write-up list. I don't think her weapon is that much better than, per se, someone's like Cord's. I think Cord's weapon would be better overall, going A0, R0 on Cord. Anything else to go over? Not really, but with that. So, long story short, if you want her, pull her. If you don't, skip her. It's not the end of the world. We are going to also be getting Futaba. Probably, I would say October 30th we would get her, because we're getting so we get Cord here, we're going to be getting Closer here, Moko here, and then we'll be getting what's his nuts, Mesa here. So yeah, Futaba will be probably October 30th, I would say. And I think it's more important to save your pulls for Cord and Futaba, or grab another DPS such as, well, as Closer or Makoto, anything that'll bring you happy. But like I said, if you want her, pull her. If you don't, skip her. No big deal. With that, I hope you guys have a good day, good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye for now.